The Unblinking Eye, a journey into the heart of the Illuminati mythos. Imagine, if you will, a sensation not of arrival, but of awakening. You are standing. The air is cool, heavy with the scent of aged stone and a faint ecclesiastical incense. The floor beneath your feet is polished to a mirror sheen, a deep, veined marble the color of a midnight sky. The hall is vast, its ceiling lost in shadow, giving the impression of an infinite starless void above. And around you, figures. Rows of them, silent and still, draped in hooded robes of profound black. The fabric absorbs the dim, ambient light, making them appear less like people and more like voids in the shape of men. Your eyes, adjusting to the gloom, begin to pick out details. The cut of a jawline you've seen 1,000 times on news broadcasts. The familiar, hawk-like profile of a media titan whose empire dictates global narratives. A flicker of recognition for a pop star whose voice is the soundtrack to your daily commute. Her face now obscured, but her presence unmistakable. They are all here. The powerful, the famous, the influential. They are silent. And they are waiting. The silence is not empty. It is thick, expectant, a palpable force pressing in on your eardrums. For the meeting is about to begin. The conclave, the inner circle, the Illuminati. Fantasy? The overactive imagination of a culture saturated with information and paranoia? Conspiracy theory? A convenient narrative to explain the chaotic and often terrifying nature of world events? Or is it the truth, hidden in plain sight, woven into the very fabric of our reality, so ubiquitous that we have become blind to it? To answer that, we must journey back, not to a Hollywood soundstage or the pages of a pulp thriller, but to the heart of the European Enlightenment, to a time of powdered wigs, revolution, and radical thought. For the first Illuminati were not a myth. They were a real historical organization, and their brief, fiery existence would cast a shadow that stretches for centuries. Chapter 1. The Genesis of Light. Bavaria, 1776. The date is May 1st, 1776. The place is Ingolstadt, a conservative, Jesuit-dominated city in Bavaria. Here, a man of intellect and simmering discontent, Professor Adam Weishaupt, founds a secret society. His creation is the Bund der Perfektibilisten, Order of the Perfectibilists, a name that would soon be discarded for something far more potent and evocative. The Illuminati Norden, the Order of the Illuminati. Weishaupt, a professor of canon law, was a man at odds with his environment. The intellectual stranglehold of the Catholic Church and the absolute power of the Bavarian monarchy were, in his view, anchors holding back human progress. He witnessed the currents of the Enlightenment, reason, secularism, liberty, and the empirical sciences sweeping across Europe, and he longed to accelerate their flow. But to challenge the established powers openly was suicide. Secrecy was his only weapon. His initial recruits were a handful of his most promising students. The order began, in his own words, as a game for intellectuals, a clandestine club for free-thinking men. Its structure was elaborate and hierarchical, modeled in part on the Jesuits he despised and the Freemasons he would later seek to infiltrate. Members progressed through ascending grades of initiation: novice, minerval, illuminatus minor, illuminatus major, and finally the pinnacle, the priest regent and magus. Each level revealed deeper secrets of the order's philosophy and goals. The Illuminati's ultimate aim was nothing short of revolutionary: the overthrow of superstition and religious influence over public life, and the dismantling of oppressive monarchies. They sought to replace this old world order with a new one, a global society based on reason, merit, and secular virtue. This was not merely a political goal, it was a quasi-religious mission. They were, in their own eyes, the bringers of light, Illuminati meaning enlightened ones, to a humanity shrouded in the darkness of ignorance and tyranny. The Order's methods were as sophisticated as its goals. It was a true underground network, a proto-revolutionary cell. Members operated under classical pseudonyms. Weishaupt was Spartacus. Communicated through a complex system of codes and ciphers, and were instructed to infiltrate existing power structures, particularly Masonic lodges, to recruit influential figures and steer their activities. At its zenith in the mid-1780s, the Illuminati claimed perhaps 2,000 to 3,000 members across Europe, including nobles, politicians, lawyers, and intellectuals. They were a shadowy force, a whisper network of radical enlightenment. Chapter 2. The Modern Lodge, Davos, Data, and the Digital Panopticon. This leads to the most profound and unsettling question of the modern age. Who programs the programmer? The algorithms that dictate what you see, what you buy, and what you believe are created by a tiny, unelected, and incredibly powerful tech elite in Silicon Valley. Are they the new Illuminati? Or are they merely the willing tools of an older, more established hierarchy? The system itself, the interlocking directorates of global finance, corporate media, big tech, and international governance, has become so complex, so self-perpetuating, that it no longer requires a central committee of hooded figures to direct it. It operates on its own logic, a cybernetic organism with a single goal, its own growth and stability. The Illuminati may just be the name we give to this faceless, systemic imperative for control. They are the system. They are the deep state. They are the algorithm. The true power of the Illuminati lies not in their existence, but in our belief in them. They are the perfect villain for a confused and frightened age. And as long as we feel that our world is controlled by hidden hands, the myth of the all-seeing eye will continue to stare back at us from the $1 bill, from our screens, and from the depths of our own unease.